Star Wars is dead. Done. Finished.
Is this a drill or something?
Do you know how many times I get these comments in the I've come back to Star Wars at perhaps the worst time in history. And I did it because I spoke to Star Wars Theory and I was going on his podcast and I got an inkling. I started to feel the force when I said to him, I don't want to be just negative. There's so much negativity. It's deserved, arguably a lot of it, because I look at the content. I don't want to be just another negative voice in the cacophony of voices, because I walk around all day just being pissed off at everything that I see and hear. And he said, you're not being negative, you're being candid. And then I thought about all the people that are feeling the way that I'm feeling with nobody to talk to. And I know that I'm going to be authentic and hopefully fair about this. I'm not just going to be negative and rage people up. Obviously, I have criticisms, but I believe that criticism is a part of growth. Now, as somebody who wants to create Star Wars content and build out a fan universe where there's content that explores the best of the EU, but also new stories, because the technology is getting there. And I do believe that the community are going to be the next storytellers. I wanted to get your thoughts on if you believe Star Wars is dead and why, and then how to fix it. Because from what I can tell, as somebody who's stood outside the sphere of Star Wars for a couple of years, as a casual fan, because when you're in this as a creator or as a hardcore fan, you can hype yourself up to almost believe that something's better than it is, because you've been waiting for months and you've put little pieces together of lore and blah, blah, blah. But I did see after the sequels, which were a huge letdown for myself and many others, that Disney's rhetoric was that fans were toxic, that it were not great, etc. We've all heard that. So the disdain for the fans was at an all-time high. Blaming people for not liking your product or your media is a terrible route by my estimation. And we found out that's true now. But then to not back it up with great stories. The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 mostly hit the marks. But season 3 started to slide, and then I feel like where it hit the lowest point was the acolyte. So you've already lost all the goodwill for Disney with the sequels. Then the acolyte comes out, and there was a lot of rhetoric just about agenda, not so much storytelling. And this had been happening for years and years and years. And obviously, I think what fans care about the most is storytelling. Star Wars is innately political, social, political commentary, and done with a deft hand, as it should be, is a natural part of the movies. I'm not saying it's not there, but done with a heavy hand, it just feels like you're talking down to people. Nobody likes to be preached to, and especially not told you're a bad person or fan because you don't like what's happened. So the goodwill has eroded nearly fully because of the acolyte, so much so that Skeleton Crew, I thought, was... I guess it was pretty good. There was moments. It really was one of those switch your brains off, pretend this is the Goonies in space. I really enjoyed Jude Law's take on the character. Jod Nanarwood, was it? Yes, that's weird that I remember that. And, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't mind-blowing. But it had its moments, and that was one of the lowest rated or viewed, pieces of media Star Wars has had, because the Acolyte is basically, I think that's a nail in the coffin where they're at the lowest point. And so now it's up to Disney, I believe, to prove that it is about storytelling and putting the fans first, but really just delivering. It needs at least 3 pieces of media, whether it be movies or series, etc., that show the fans that they don't... It's a universe that is open to people, that strives for excellence in storytelling, and then everything else should fall into place, by my estimation. Now, in the background, obviously, we're going to be working on the fan universe and the Dark Lore that I'm so excited to talk about, but I wanted to get your thoughts as well, because the only way I feel I can move forward is to be informed about why you think Star Wars is falling short. If you do, if you love it right now, well, kudos to you. God bless, you've got everything you want. But if you aren't feeling it, please let me know in the comments below why, so that I don't make the same mistakes and that there can be more constructive criticism, because I think constructive criticism is so overlooked. Disney's so on the defense, and I've seen them attack people and be defensive. But it really does help. So I really want to hear from you in the comments what you think, where you think Star Wars needs to go, which will inform me, because this is going to be one of many videos where we discuss things as in the background I'm creating new stories. But I thought this was an important discussion to have first. Let me know your thoughts again in the comments below, because if you love Star Wars, I want to talk to you about it. It's as simple as that.